Monday morning, and we are getting ready to do our weekly podcast. And there are a few things I just want to, I feel like, we got a couple red shirts and then a green shirt and a couple guy in hats and a no hat. We got to get it together.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Well, hopefully you were here yesterday at Oasis Church. We started our brand new series off talking about the book of Daniel, looking at Daniel chapter 1. And, I can't say it or stress it enough. And we had 4 opportunities to stress it yesterday. That verse 8 is the key in chapter 1, talking about that Daniel made up his mind not to defile himself. And that's so important for us to make up our minds that no matter what compromise or what situation that that's put in front of us, that we're going to make up our mind to do the right thing. And hopefully, looking at that verse from Psalm 119, that we're going to live by God's laws, we're going to meditate on it, we're going to read it, we're going to work diligently at putting it into practice into our life. And hopefully, we were able to communicate that. What's really exciting to me is a lot of our small groups, one actually started yesterday and has already done the sermon-based small group material, and I was excited for that. And there'll be one more tonight, and then mine will meet, and then your guys is going to meet Wednesdays and Thursdays. And I'm excited, and I'm looking for feedback. I want to know, because we've not done this before, I'm looking for feedback on what you thought of your small group time. Did it help reinforce the message? Were you able to go a little bit deeper? Were you able to make it a little bit more personal? Were you able to be transparent with your group? And that might be a tough one for some of us the very first week, because we're going to have new people in our groups. And I want to remind you that when somebody new comes into your small group, that not everybody knows everybody. And when you carry on a conversation in front of new people, like you've known somebody for 3 or 4 years, you make them actually feel uncomfortable because they don't know you and they don't know them. So just keep that in mind of welcoming people into our small group semester as it starts. If you're not enrolled in small group, I wish that you were. I wish that you would make it a priority. And I know what the temptation will be in this sermon-based small group time is, if I don't make it to the Sunday morning, I guess I can just skip my small group because that's what they're going to talk about. Well, I would encourage you not to do that. And if you do miss a Sunday morning, you can always pick up the sermon on Monday, because we're going to get that uploaded on Monday for you. Even if you weren't there on Sunday morning, like Mark, you were celebrating your anniversary.
Yes, I was.
You were off in Phoenix.
Yep.
And so happy anniversary to you and Jamie.
You. Thank you.
Now, how many years?
10 years.
And how many kids?
8. Well, 7.5.
You're a little bit behind.
A little bit.
Hopefully, soon the years will get, they'll outgrow the kids, but,
maybe. I don't know if that's possible. Anyway.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, Mark wasn't here, yesterday, so he really doesn't know what we talked about specifically in the message, but he has some pretty strong feelings on compromise. He doesn't have to be here to know that compromise is probably not something that we should be doing. And then because of the conversation that you're all going to have, he's still going to have some input into the conversation. He just may not understand everything that was said in the Sunday morning message. So again, hopefully, don't let that be deterrent from you from attending your small group, even if you were here or not. If you've not enrolled, actually call the church office, because the best part about this small group semester is you can join a small group about any time, and you're really not going to interfere, joining in week 6 of a 12-week session. These are all sermon-based, so if you were here on Sunday, you're able to, participate in the conversation, and even if you weren't, you'll be able to still participate. Anyway, lots of things going on in the life of our church. We have Rock the Desert coming up, and again, I talked a little bit about that in all 3 services. We were talking about that is a concert that's put on by our local Christian radio station, KCFY. I was serious that I appreciate their ministry in our town, and if you're not doing anything on Friday night, why don't you make a point to be there? I'll be there. Come say hello to me. I'd appreciate that, and also be there to be able to support the Christian radio station. And I know, like I said last week, some of us don't like the style of music or how loud it's going to be. I'm going to have earplugs just in case. But if it's really loud, I'll put my earplugs in, and whether I like the music or not, I like what they represent. And so I appreciate that, and I appreciate our Christian radio station being able to do that for us. Those events happen only because people go to them. You can't schedule an event and nobody show up and then say, oh, I think I'll do that again next year. So it is kind of a make or break time this year for KCFY and Rock the Desert, so I'm hoping to see a lot of people turn out for that. And then, Mike, we have some different plans this year. Normally we've had all-nighters in the past, and what are we doing for our youth after the Rock the Desert event?
Well, we're going to take a step back from the all-nighter this year. In exchange, we're going to be spending the day together on Saturday. So 8 in the morning, we're going to meet here at the church. We're going to go down to the river. We're going to do a float down, have a good time. The kids just need to bring their own flotation device. We'll have pumps, stuff like that for them to inflate them at the river. As soon as we're done with that, we're going to have lunch over at the park, at the wetlands park there. Just enjoy some nice food there. And then we're going to change and head up to El Centro, where they just opened up this Ricochet trampoline gym, which is just a gigantic trampoline gym. Apparently they've got like 2 full-size trampoline basketball courts, among a whole bunch of other things there. So we're going to spend a couple hours there, and we're going to be back here by 5 o'clock. That way their parents can pick them up, they can go home and spend the rest of the evening with their families. Whole thing only costs $15. Ricochet hooked us up with a really good deal to get in there, so that'll cover their fuel, food, and admittance into Ricochet as well. Wednesday we'll have all the permission slips out for everybody, along with more information as well, just to make sure all the information is out there.
All right, so kind of a different event this year.
Yeah, changing it up a little bit, just a little bit of a change of pace.
All right, and the parents who are concerned about the float down in the Colorado River, we've done that several times within our church, and that's the Colorado River, if you're not familiar with it, is not a fast-running river,
Nope.
And nor, for the most part, I know where you're going to be floating down. You can pretty much walk down.
Oh, we also have Jess coming, who is certified in every water certification that she can with the job that she has. So she's
great.
also going to be joining us as well. So we have the safety supervisor there coming as well.
Safety supervisor.
She doesn't know, but I just named her. I mean, she doesn't know that's her name, but I just dubbed her that.
Well, that's good, because that's what parents want to know, that it's going to be safe while their kids are jumping up and down on trampolines.
That as well, they have staff there to make sure no kids are doing anything too heinous that they're going to potentially get injured. But as it is a trampoline, there's always a little bit of risk involved.
There's inherent danger in everything that we do, Mike.
It's youth ministry.
It is youth ministry, so, but we promise to try to bring your kids back all in one piece.
They will all come back in one piece.
We, Mark,
Yep.
we have some things coming up for children's ministry and movie nights, and
Yep.
that's all going to be starting back up. And why don't you talk to us a little bit about what's in the near future?
Well, in the future, starting in September, later part of September, we'll have our first movie night. You're going to have to see more details about that in the upcoming weeks here. But definitely starting in September, we're going to have movie nights each month while the weather's cool. Those sites may be determined. They might not all be at Oasis, so a little surprise there. But definitely the first one is going to be at Oasis towards the end of September. We plan a messy night, another messy night, down the road. For the kids, they had a good time last time, so we got some stuff in the works. So
Good. There are a few other things coming up in the life of our church. We have 101 coming up, but if I remember right, I think 101 is coming up on the 23rd of August, and so that's a great opportunity for you to come in and find out a little bit about Oasis Church and what we believe. It'll be actually the first 101 class that will incorporate our new values, and you're going to be seeing a lot about that coming up. Our elders are helping me put some podcasts together talking about our values and why they're important to us here at Oasis Church, and how they kind of, as I would say, flesh out what we do here at Oasis. So you'll be hearing a lot about that. But in that 101 class, we'll be talking about those values a little bit. So that's kind of new and up and coming. Anyway, Daniel chapter 2 next week. I would anticipate, if I was coming to Oasis Church, another pre-test. Okay? I would anticipate. So if you want to do really well on that, and you're that competitive type of person, and you want to get 100%, then you want to make sure that you read Daniel chapter 2 this week, all 49 verses. Okay, Hope that you'll do that. Again, we're excited about our new series. We're excited about fall time in Yuma. All right. I know it's only like 110 degrees and it seems like fall so much to all of us. But it is fall, according to the rest of the world.
I think it's just slightly less summer.
It's just less summer. Yeah, well, anyway, glad that you guys are part of our podcast, and we'll see you next week.